What's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and I'm welcoming everyone to Impact Wrestling Review. This was the fallout of Impact Wrestling's Scamaversary 2021, or something I'm gonna be doing from now on, something very new, something um, you know, apparent because of what happened last year and then this year, again, Scamaversary. So next time when Impact Wrestling does this next year, that's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it Scamaversary. Because that's twice they fool me to buy net pay-per-views in a scam way, to deliver something that that would have been something big. Now this year was pretty good. I'm not saying the show was bad, but they when it comes to delivering what they wanted us to deliver, you know, some of it was good. Not all of it was good. No Way Jose was one of them, but I digress. Um, but yeah, this will be a fallout. The show from July 22nd, 2021, at Nashville, Tennessee, in the Skyway Studios with the fans, there. You know, and obviously there's one other tapings that they did, and I'll get to more of that when it takes to why I said that. 'Cause obviously it's these shows are always taped either way, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter, unless it's a pay-per-view. But I digress. So the opening match, um, basically they show Chris Bay. Well, first they show the historic, unforgettable Summerversary, or should I say Scamaversary, pertains to everything that's happened. And then they show a bonus footage from Scamaversary with Chris Bay discovers a Bullet Club T-shirt in his locker. Basically it was during this whole altercation argument between Ray Rajul and Chris Bay. And Chris Bay's like, you've got your shirt, wherever. And he's like, that's not my shirt. And Chris Bay looks at it like, a Bullet Club T-shirt. And like, wait, Chris Bay and Bullet Club, not a bad idea. Bay Club, Finesse Club, whichever you want. It could be just to the Ultimate Finesser and Chris Bay. Hey, it'll be a good addition for him to be part of Bullet Club, and then for him to leave Impact Wrestling to go to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he'll get a better booking there than in Impact Wrestling. But I digress. But as far as Chris Bay versus Brit Rajul, what I didn't get a chance to say that yet, but I'm saying it now. But yeah, Shira out ringside for Brit Rajul. So Chris Bay and Brit Rajul had a match, and it was good opener, with Chris Bay going over on Brit Rajul. After the match, Chris Bay was confronted backstage by, the Switchblade, Jay White. And basically, the leader of Bullet Club asks if he want, basically, just give him if he got his message, where it's referring, the Bullet Club T-shirt. And Chris Bay said, thanks for it, but I walk alone and everything. And then Jay White questions him, say, well, how's that worked out for you lately? And as a matter of fact, how's that worked out for you at Scamaversary? So he tells him, about this offer, it expires, so you better act fast, So Chris Bay was thinking about it, and we'll get to what happened about that later on. Also, we get Don Callis. He's been interviewed by Gia Miller, where it tends to Kenny Omega being the Impact World Champion after his violent no disqualification match with Sami Callihan at Scamaversary. And despite winning the match, Omega is worse for wear, and Don Callis is still unhappy. Where it tends to that's happening, especially with the arrival of Jay White, but says that as long as they have position of the possessions of Impact Wrestling, or the Impact World title, they have all the power in Impact Wrestling. And that was basically it. Mickie James. Yeah, I got nothing to say about that promo. But it was a good promo there from Don Callis. He's a good talker. Mickie James returns She talks about Deanna Barrazo. You know, basically talks about how that things that's got on hand at as at Scamaversary, where she delivered a super kick, to Michael's champion, and she basically asked Deanna Barrazo to come out. You know, so Deanna Barrazo came out, and basically she wants to ask her again if she has any desire to join NWA's Empowered pay-per-view, or chance to an all women's pay-per-view for the first time ever for NWA. And so Deanna Purrazzo tells her that the only way she'll appear is if Mickey James apologizes, and things got tensions. Ray got intention, I should say, until we got the Impact Hall of Famer Gil King coming out to to make peace and everything between the two, and and it worked. And then at the end of the day, Deanna Purrazzo accepts the invitation, and that's basically it. Now, how they're gonna build this whole thing between John Brasso versus Mickey James is unquote is not answered yet, but I'm very intrigued to see how they're gonna build this up between Mickey James and John Brasso at NWA, and in Power. So I'm I'm excited to see the show too. By the way, I don't know. I'm assuming it's just gonna be this month. I'm assuming, but I'm gonna buy that show. All women's pay per view. Maybe it'll be way better than the all women's WWE pay per view. Just saying. And I know it will, by the way. I know it will. Because when it takes to WWE Evolution, it didn't have Nia Jax on there. I mean, it had Nia Jax on there. I meant to say. I don't know what's trying to just go there. It had Nia Jax on the show, I meant to say. Yeah, it had Nia Jax on the show. It had the Bells on the show. And it was trash. Those were the two parts that was trash about the pay per view. However, this will not, which is in Power for NWA. This will not have Nia Jax. This will not have the Bella Twins. It will have, the absolute best women's, in pro wrestling companies. That's not the WWE, because WWE is not pro wrestling. WWE is sports entertainment, and sports entertainment sucks. There you go. After the shocking Impact return at Scamaversary of Chelsea Green, she is back in action as she teams up with Matt Cardona and Jake Something to go up against Brian Myers, Tina Dashwood, and Sam Beal with with Kill with a K. I meant to say at ringside. And match was decent with Matt Cardona, Chelsea Green, and Jake Something winning. And after the like I said, the match was decent. So after the match, also we see W Morrissey, pertains to. Oh, I'm sorry. Basically, AO was commenting about W Morrissey missing the steel chain to defeat him at Scamaversary, and says he wants to find him outside of the parking lot. Basically have a brawl, and that's exactly what happened. So W Morrissey meets up with Eddie Edwards in the parking lot, and they start fighting. Only for Eddie Edwards to win the fight by using candlesticks, two candlesticks, I should say, to W Morrissey as he retreats, and that was it. So they're still building this whole thing up with Eddie Edwards and W Morrissey. So we got Tina Dashwood, who tells Brian Myers that she won't be teaming up with Brian Myers, because Brian Myers suggested I should bring Bros up first. He basically suggested that Tina Dashwood should be his partner as for Homecoming, the King and Queen tournament. And basically she denied it because Brian Myers is a loser because of what happened at Scamaversary, and then what happened on recently on the show. So Sam Beal Sam Beal is certain that he can find a partner for Brian Myers, and that's gonna be the thing where it takes the whole thing. So and so yeah, so this whole Impact Homecoming, that the last time I did this show, by the way, was back in 2019 when they were back to in the arena of the Asylum. I don't remember where it was. The Asylum arena was going to be was at. I'm assuming it was in Tennessee, because that's the home place for Impact Wrestling either way. Um, but yeah, they haven't done a show since that year, 2019, and now they're doing something new here with Homecoming, where it tends to be on Impact Plus, obviously, because when they first did the Homecoming pay-per-view, it was a pay-per-view. Um, the show I meant to say, but it was a pay-per-view. Now it's gonna be on Impact Plus, and they're doing something new here, where it tends to having a Homecoming King and Queen tournament, and I cannot wait to see how this turns out. So, Jay White heads to the ring, who is the never openweight champion for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he explains why he came to Impact Wrestling, and the crowds were hot for Jay White, by the way. He says that he is in Impact Wrestling for one person, his New Japan Pro Wrestling opponent, which is to New Japan Pro Wrestling's resurgent, and that is David Finlay, because David Finlay, is in Impact Wrestling as well, along with Juice Robinson, Finn Juice. Jay White accuses of David Finlay of coming to Impact Wrestling, so that he can hide from him. Jay White says that, basically he turns his attention to the Good Brothers and says that they are not good enough to be in the new era of the Bullet Club. So this led to Impact World Champion Kenny Omega coming out, and the Impact Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers, coming out as well, along with Don Callis. Don Callis refers to the Elite as the superior faction, and tells Jay White that he should ask for permission to join them. And then also Omega and Callis allow the Good Brothers to handle this as they go do their things wherever. So Gallows and Anderson goes to into the ring and try to get a thank you from Jay White, pertains to laying the foundation of Bullet Club and all that, and paving the way for Bullet Club and all that. And basically that's not what happened. So there's also the attack happens. Jay White was getting attacked by the Good Brothers. Chris Bay comes out for the save, and that was basically it. And there you go. So there you go. Not much to say about that. So yeah, this made me think that he's part of Bullet Club. Hopefully that's the case, because Chris Bay needs to be recognized and be focused on of his talent. And when you're in Bullet Club, you got that talent to be in part of Bullet Club and to be something in pro wrestling. So nice that Jay White is he sees the talent in Chris Bay. Impact World Champion Kenny Omega is oh yeah, so here's what happened. Josh Alexander was being interviewed by Gio Miller, where it to his championship match he had from Scamaversary. That and it was also pertains to him. He doesn't want to miss any days. He wants to prove that he is the absolute best in the business, especially pertains to him being the X Division champion. All of a sudden, Kenny Omega disrespectfully interrupts him by the door and all that, hitting on the back of Josh Alexander and all that, and Don Callis was making Peacemaker and all that, and basically they're heavily giving us a teaser there that Josh Alexander versus Kenny Omega is going to be coming into the works. Hopefully that means Josh Alexander is going to be the one to beat Kenny Omega, because if Moose couldn't do it, if Sami Callihan couldn't do it, the one person you need to do it with is Josh Alexander. Because to be honest with you, again, Kenny Omega, well, actually, I shouldn't say again, because I remember if I did say this on the Scamaversary review, but or first, well, actually at the time I should call it a Scamaversary review. But anyways, but I said it on the Simon show though, pertains to Kenny Omega is not doing anything for the Impact World Title belt. And it's not really benefiting Impact Wrestling at all. It's not. It really isn't. So, if anything, it is a big if anything. If anything, He's devaluing the belt. He's devaluing the company. So Josh Alexander, who's really showing what he can do in Impact Wrestling, that he's got the heart, he's got the soul, more than 8 hours, I should say. He's got the passion. He's got it. So if anyone can make up for the Impact World Title, and to bring back the prestige and to bring back what person could be, what Impact Wrestling could be, is the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. Because again, if you wasn't gonna do it with Moose, and you wasn't gonna do it with Sami Callihan, do it with Josh Alexander. Because if you don't do it with Josh Alexander, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing at this point. So hopefully Josh Alexander is the main goal for this. The Good Brothers, they were upset that they challenged Jay White and Chris Bay to a match on the next episode of Impact Wrestling, which I'll get to when we get to it. So there you go. Ace Austin and Matt Fulton versus Finn Juice, David Finlay and Juice Robertson. And guess who won? Finn Juice won the match because Ace Austin and Matt Fulton as a tag team cannot win the match to save their own lives. But the match was decent. After the match, though, Ace Austin and Matt Fulton go to assault Finn Juice from behind, and all. And then Finn Juice, they turned the tables around, and they was going to take care of them. But all of a sudden, Rick Rajul and Shira came out just for the save, and basically forming this alliance once again with Ace Austin, Matt Fulton, Rick Rajul, and Shira. Why? I don't know. Maybe because they got nothing for these guys. Rich Swann and William Mack revealed that Found by Design are blaming them for losing the match at Scamaversary. And I see myself, really? So we're doing that. This is the program we're doing with Found by Design, and this is Found by Design's way to protect them, because they lost the belts to the Good Brothers at Scamaversary, because it was Rich Swann and William Mack's fault. So all of a sudden, lights went out, whatever, from the room. Also, Found by Design showed up, and they basically beat up Rich Swann and William Mack, and that was it. So that's the program we're going with, folks. Whatever. So stupid. I mean, the match will be good though. The few, but the way that they're starting this whole new feud and all that. That's the way to do it, and that's the idea behind it. Also, we get to Moose demanding a rematch. Basically, he went to knock on the door of Scott D'Amore, and GM Mill was there too. So, Scott D'Amore came out of his office and all that. And then Chris Bay comes in. All of a sudden, the match was made, and it's gonna be the main event, for the show. For the next Impact Wrestling show. And well, I know Moose is gonna get the win back, but at the same time, what does it matter at this point? Because he lost at Scamaversary. That should have been the match he should have won at, instead of getting his win back at on the next show, which I'm assuming he should get this win back, by the way, because it would piss me the fuck off if he didn't. But we'll see. Steve Macklin, he has demanded for more competition, and basically he's been wrestling a lot on Before the Impact, the show that that Impact Wrestling does, BTI. So so I haven't, cause I really don't watch that show that much anyway. So unless it's something important, like that on the Iron Man match they did, I thought that was important. We get more fallout of Scamaversary that continue on the show. We see Diener and Rhino basically, they're basically now some matches for the next Impact Wrestling show. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's gonna be Diener and Rhino of Found by Design versus Rich Swann and William Mack. Jay White teaming up with Chris Bay versus the Good Brothers, and many more. So And then we get to the main event. The main event will feature, what pertains to on the countdown to Scamaversary with Rosemary and on Havoc, dethroning Fire and Flavor to become the new Knockouts champion of Kier Hogan and Tasha Steelz at the pre-show of Scamaversary. That's another reason why it's called Scamaversary too, because they scammed me to make me think that I was going to be watching the Knockouts Tag Team title match on Scamaversary. But the fact that it was on the pre-show, Scamaversary. I really missed an opportunity to call it Scamaversary on that when I did the Scamaversary review. But this is the way to make me feel better and to repay fans like me of the Knockouts Tag Team titles being debunked of Scamaversary, and they decided to do it right here. The main event for that show for Impact Wrestling's on Fallout of Scamaversary was the Knockouts Tag Team title match with Rosemary and Havoc of Decay, the champions, versus Fire and Flavor of Kier Hogan and Tasha Steelz, the challengers. And the match was good. The match, this match we should have seen at Scamaversary, but we didn't. So yeah, the match was good. And we had miscommunication there by Kier Hogan and Tasha Steelz, which cost them the match. Kier Hogan took the pinfall, and there's a reason why she took a pinfall. Not just pertains to on this show, but also on Scamaversary's pre-show as well. It's because Kiera Hogan. I don't remember. It's something that she said on her OnlyFans site that she said that she has departed her ways for Impact Wrestling. So once the tapings of Kier Hogan is done on Impact Wrestling, that's it. No more Kier Hogan, which means no more Fire and Flavor. Now I don't know how they're gonna do something where they tend to write off Kier Hogan. Maybe they could try to have her get killed in the Undead Realm like they did with Ali. Remember that one? Yeah. Yeah, you could actually kill her this time, like you tried to do it before with Kier Hogan. Remember? Because that was a lot better during that time with Kier Hogan getting buried. Fuck you, Impact Wrestling. You fucked up Kier Hogan's single run. You fucked her up where she should have been Knockouts champion. And yes, Knockouts Tag Team Championship, it was a better fit too. It tends to the chemistry that Tasha Steelz and Kier Hogan had. Fire and Flavor, I loved it. And I'm gonna miss it. Unfortunately, I'm gonna miss it. But yeah, should have pushed her to a point where she could have been something for Impact Wrestling for the Knockouts for that could be worth watching, because she was it. And now she's gone. And this flies is getting on my nerves. And now with her being gone, you got Tasha Steelz there, the Boricua badass. And I gotta say this too. You may have fucked up Kier Hogan's single run, but with Tasha Steelz, I've been saying this with Tasha Steelz, with her cutting good promos, being very good in the ring, who's showing a lot of charisma, who's showing a lot of personality, showing a lot of potential. She's got it. Hopefully, she becomes the future Impact Knockouts champion, unlike you failed with Kier Hogan being a future Knockouts champion. And now we're never going to get that. So thanks a lot, Impact Wrestling. Thanks a fucking lot. So as far as Tasha Steelz is concerning, don't you dare fuck her up. Book her right. Because again, Tasha Steelz, she's got it. And that's all I'm going to say from there. But the match was good though. The main event match was good. So how they're gonna bury Hogan out, yeah, basically that's basically how I see it. How they're gonna bury Hogan out of Impact Wrestling? Well, I said before we're chasing the running theme because of the whole Falaba and TJP thing. I'm gonna say again. How they're gonna book Hogan being buried and get kicked her out of the door? You're gonna find out. Just like I'm gonna find out. There you go. And that will conclude your Impact Wrestling review. The date from July 22nd, 2021. So there were 4 matches that were Tomorrow Wrestling because you had a lot of promos involved, especially on the Jay White segment. So, which it was fine. I still enjoyed the show for what it was. So my overall score for the show, 7.5 out of 10. Good show. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. Until next time, we're chasing my next Impact Wrestling review. Is the Natural Born Gorilla saying peace on the streets. You all take care.